Last night, red hot. Cameron Maven's 3 hits. Not enough as the Rockies edge the Padres 3. It's Saturday. Don't balk. Come on in. Padres baseball coming up. A made-to-order baseball night this Saturday at Petco Park in downtown San Diego as the Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres duel in the second game of this 3-game weekend series. And good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Pleased that you're with us on Saturday night. Another good ball game last night, 3-2, as the Rockies prevail on one-run contest, and there's no reason to believe otherwise tonight we could have another close one based on the pitching matchup.
Well, the pitching's always been great for the Padres this year, and Aaron Harang hopefully follows suit with the way that these guys have been pitching. It's kind of nice, though. Aaron Harang, the local kid, looking for number 10, the video, or the win, rather. And being the local kid, doesn't matter if it's the retro jerseys or the current jerseys, Aaron Harang has stuff. Everything is working for the right-hander this year.
9-2, the winningest percentage in all of the National League. Harang, the big right-hander, and he's not the only big right-hander in this flashback. Take a look at this handsome guy. Nodding yes. He's ready to rock and fire. He had the big 12-6 curveball. Mark Grant, okay, why are these two baseball figures tied together in our opening tees?
Well, that was maybe 100 pounds ago when I had hair, and things were really working that year in 1989. I was fortunate enough to come to a ball game when it was tied. Maybe we trailed by a run, went out and threw a scoreless inning, and then my teammates really did the job of scoring some runs, so I was the vulture that year. A lot of luck was involved in those numbers in 1989, and when you take a look at the numbers, Aaron Harang is on to something special this year. If he can keep going for the San Diego Padres, I would love to see him in a Padre uniform, but his name's been bandied about in trade rumors.
Well, trying to stay above Mark Grant in 1989, the right-hander Grant was 8-2 for that 800 winning percentage, huh? Say, rubbing shoulders with greatness every night.
Well, I hope Aaron Harang's name stays up at top of that list.
Right. San Diego is 12-5 in the 17 games that Harang has started. Let's look at tonight's pitching matchup. It's an intriguing one indeed. Ubaldo Jimenez, who won 19 last year, no hitter. He's 6-9 this year, and there's rumors, hot rumors at the moment, that Jimenez in a short time will be a Cleveland Indian. Aaron Harang, the Detroit Tigers seem to be very interested in Harang. We'll see what happens in the next, less than 24 hours. Our pitching matchup brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Padres and the Rockies, NL West rivals, ready to go to work on a Saturday night in San Diego. Petco Park. It'll be busy tonight on a Saturday, as always, as fans enjoy baseball, then go out and have a dinner afterwards. A libation. As Aaron Harang, well, they've been popping the champagne when he pitches. 9-2, best winning percentage in the National League. He's 4-2 against Colorado lifetime, and he has a 5-game winning streak alive. Padres starting pitcher profile is brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in for an attractive lease or purchase offer.
And as the deadline approaches quickly, Aaron Harang, Ubaldo Jimenez, many players on the showcase line. Aaron Harang being one of them.
1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon Pacific time is the deadline for trades. Eric Young Jr., he starts it off for Colorado and takes it outside and high. 12 times in his 17 starts, Harang has allowed 2 or fewer runs. That's a strike. 88 on the fastball. But as you saw in the video of Harang as we began our telecast tonight, it's that big slider that has been his best weapon. 2-1.
Everything that Aaron tries to throw plateward has to have some movement on it. Very rarely will he throw a four-seamer that's straight. Even the four-seamer has a little tail to it.
Out of play.
And right out of the gate, a couple of back-to-back changeups to Eric Young Jr.
Big man from San Diego State, 6'7" and 261. Harang now 33. He brings that slider inside, and the count goes full. Jane Mitchell doing her one-on-one profile of Harang. Very interesting last night. Chop foul. No, is that Harang has some talent as an artist, painting some oils and a beautiful landscape that was part of the show.
And he does a lot of that painting on the mound too, on the corners of the plate.
Very good. Misses that corner. And a leadoff walk to Young. A look at Jim Tracy's lineup brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. Dexter Fowler steps in. The ageless star at first base, Troy Tulowitzki. Is there a better shortstop in baseball? Seth Smith bats fifth, then Chris Nelson, Ian Stewart, Alfonso the catcher, and Jimenez the pitcher. Runner goes. Throw by Johnson is not in time. Young has his fifth steal.
Not wasting any time. Does he get a good jump? It's a decent jump, and it looks like a high leg kick from Harang. And the release from Rob Johnson, hey, not bad at all. Caught the ball nicely. Quick release, snapshot from the ear all the way down to second base. I think it was the speed of Young that got him to second base.
Walk and a steal, and the Rockies in business here early. Fowler bunts it foul. The Rockies jumped in front last night, got 3 in the second inning. Half of their hit total for the entire night, 4 hits in that second inning, and Padres could never catch Colorado, losing 3-2. 2 strikes. Gonzalez trying to keep Young close there at second base. Fowler strikes out more than any Rocky, 80 times this year. Upstairs with a fastball at 90. Rocky start tonight, 11 games behind San Francisco. Colorado is 50 and 56 on the year, after leading back in May by 4.5 games in the West. Curveball missing.
A lot of off-speed stuff early from Aaron Harang. Well, usually Aaron's good with spotting the fastball, but trying to get these Rockies out in front. A couple of speedsters in Young and Fowler.
Struck him out. Check the Padre defense behind Harang. In the outfield, it's Maben in center, flanked by Ludwig in left and Denorfia in right. Will Venables back, still acting up. Headley at third, Gonzalez for Bartlett. Bartlett has improved the hamstring. Could be used as a pinch hitter. Hudson and Guzman on the right side. Johnson behind the plate. Harang on the mound. And here's Helton. Takes ball one. Leading hitter for the Rockies at .314. Big hits, 11 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Had a double last night.
Be interesting to see how he pitches Helton with first base being open.
Line drive caught by Headley. Back to second goes Young. Headley just tall enough and arms just long enough to get up and take that out of the left field corner, robbing Helton of a double.
When Todd Helton is at the plate, every infielder has to be aware of a rocket hit right at him. Why? Because Todd Helton is so successful using the whole field. And believe me, the left-handed hitter hits rockets down the third base line. Good airtime right there by Chase Headley, saving a run.
Brings up Troy Tulowitzki, the cleanup hitter, and the shortstop takes a strike. He leads the club in home runs, 19, and runs batted in, 69. Against Harang, he's 3 for 11 previous meetings. Scoreboard having some difficulty. Count is still 1-0, but as you see left side of our screen, 0-2 the count now on Tulowitzki. Driven into the left field corner, and that's going and gone. Second deck, Tulowitzki. And the Rockies lead at 2-0. Leadoff walk comes around to score. Number 20 for Tulo, as they call him up in Denver. He is some player.
0-2. Aaron Harang wants to throw the curveball, but he doesn't bounce it. That ball is down the middle of the plate, and Troy Tulowitzki takes advantage of the hanging breaking ball. Aaron Harang wants that one back. He had him in the hole. He just didn't bounce that curveball.
So a walk and one swing, and the Rockies lead 2-0. Here's Seth Smith, right fielder, batting .290. Tulowitzki's numbers now 20 home runs and 71 runs batted in this year. As long as Tulowitzki stays healthy, he's going to be a legitimate candidate for an MVP every year. The way he plays shortstop, the way he hits,
no question.
Batting cleanup, he's the anchor in the lineup.
His all-around game, you betcha.
On the inside corner, 1-2. Of course, the Rockies have tied up Tulowitzki a long-term contract. I think some 10 years, isn't it?
Like what they did with Helton. You know, Todd's getting towards the end of his. I think he has a club option for next year, but changing of the guard, if you want to call it that. Troy Tulowitzki's going to be a Rocky for a long time.
Just 26. He's not even at his prime yet. 1-2 is Seth Smith. Tulowitzki and Helton. He knows who to sit next to. To be exact, 10 years with a total of $157 million is Tulowitzki's deal. Full count now on Smith.
A lot of pitches early for Aaron. Next one will be number 24.
Out of play. Well, as you look around Petco Park tonight, a lot of white shirts. Over 12,000 of our friends from Scripps are here. It's Scripps night, and wearing their white shirts, all corners of Petco. Good to have them aboard. They had a nice tailgate party outside the ballpark before the game. High pop up. Headley, playing in the shift, has to drift out into shallow left to make the catch. But the damage done. A walk and a home run by Tulowitzki. And the Rockies jump in front 2-0. But Esmil Rogers is warming up in the bullpen, and the speculation was if Jimenez was to be traded, Rogers would replace him. So something appears to be coming to a boil here at Petco.
Remember, it happened yesterday. Hunter Pence was taken out of the game, giving hugs to his teammates as he was dealt to the Phillies. So this is great reality TV, is it not?
Jimenez 6-9 with a 4.20 ERA. Man with marvelous talent, as he showed last year. 19-8, 2.88 ERA, the lowest ever in Colorado history. And he started terribly this year, 0-5, and a 5.86 ERA first month or so. But he's put it together since. In the last 2 months, he's more like the Jimenez of last year, 6-4 and a 3.03 ERA. There's his totals for the entire year.
And his velocity has gone down a couple of ticks from years past. Still get it up there about 95, 96.
And he walks Maben to lead off the first. Well, that's what got Harang in trouble, walking young, and he came around on Tulowitzki's home run. Speaking of home runs, the Padres lineup is presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in tomorrow, Sunday's lineup hits a home run, Ashford will donate $2,500 to Operation Front. Hudson, Headley, Ludwig cleanup, Guzman, Denorfia hit 6th, Gonzalez 7th, Rob Johnson 8th, and Harang 9th. Hudson the last 5 games at a 353 clip, raising his average to 248. Outside ball 1. Jimenez, as he draws his arm back, has a little extra movement with the wrist, kind of a bullwhip action.
He kind of hooks it and he kind of spikes that ball out of his glove. We've noticed him doing that in the past, and he kind of wraps that baseball a little bit. Long arm swing. And sometimes teams that have speed and stolen bases, like the Padres, you could take advantage of that. He might be quick on his lower side.
Watch how he drops that right arm as he even out of the stretch. Well, over to first base, conscious of Maben's 23 steals that lead the team.
Oh yeah, that's in the back of his mind. He knows there's speed out there. Then they might be going here.
Maben a bigger lead this time. Right foot almost to the cut of the grass. Jimenez troubles early the year. 0-5 control. He was all over the place. And as you've pointed out, his velocity on the fastball mysteriously has dropped noticeably. There goes Maben. The pitch is low, and Maben is stolen again. Ball gets through, and Maben, with no one out, is at third base. Throwing error by catcher Alfonso. Stolen base number 24 for Maben.
Well, speed is something you can always bring to the ballpark day in and day out, right? Speed sees no slumps, and a great jump by Cameron Maben. Putting pressure on Eliezer Alfonso. And even though it's a head-first slide, look at that pop-up slide. A little game of pepper up the middle here, or a fly ball to get him in.
1-1 to Hudson, low and inside. So that's 18 straight stolen base attempts, 18 successes for Cameron Maben. The complete package. Fouled at the plate. Took something off that delivery.
Yeah, what his off-speed pitches are for Jimenez. He throws a curveball, a slider, but his big off-speed pitch is like a split finger, a changeup. That fastball we mentioned, 95, 96, and the split changeup is going to be about 82 to 88.
Infield back. They concede the run on a ground ball. And the count goes full to Orlando Hudson.
Now, with runners in scoring position, Jimenez will drop that split finger. He's not just going to lay a fastball in there, taking a chance that a guy's going to hit a ball to drive in a run. He wants a swing and miss. You might see an off-speed pitch here with first base open. Yep.
Rolled foul, just missed hitting the bag. Maben will have to U-turn and return back to third base. Some trades made today, including former Padre Jerry Hairston has been sent to Milwaukee. The Nationals get minor leaguer outfielder Eric Komatsu. Jason Marquis, the Nationals right-handed pitcher, has gone to Arizona for a minor league shortstop, Zach Walters. But neither of these two teams involved in a deal to this point.
Diamondbacks hoping that Marquis sinker will work well in the desert where the ball flies.
Watch out. That one off the facing of the Padre dugout. Well, here's some of the notable action today. There's the Marquis trade. The Rangers acquire Uehara, the reliever from the Orioles, for first baseman Chris Davis and right-handed pitcher Tommy Hunter. That sounds like a pretty good deal for Baltimore. Foul back. Picked part of the mask of catcher Alfonso. Tigers were active. They got Doug Fister, a hard-throwing right-hander from the Mariners. He's the key player in that deal. And as we mentioned, Jerry Hairston goes to Milwaukee.
We saw Doug Fister up in Seattle. I liked his stuff. That's a good acquisition.
Another foul by Hudson. Good at bat. 10th pitch of this at bat coming up. Maben, after the walk, steals second, moves to third on the throwing error by catcher Alfonso. And again, the 3-2 delivery. And he got him on a ball in the dirt. So that's just exactly what Jimenez wants, a strikeout. And that's been the difficulty for the Padres in not scoring runs. They can't steal first base. Defense. It's brought to you by North County Cadillac. Customer service at a whole new level. And here is the alignment for the Rockies. Stewart and Tulowitzki on the left side. Nelson at second and Helton the first baseman. Young, Fowler, and Smith in the outfield. Alfonso the catcher and Jimenez on the mound. Chase Headley knocked in a run with an RBI single last night. Batting .295. For those with over 100 at bats, the top average for San Diego. His 100th hit last night. And Maben taking his lead down the line and leaning toward home plate. Should something get away from catcher Alfonso, he's ready to sprint home. Snap throw, but not in time. You could hear Glenn Hoffman, the coach, back, helping his runner to get back to third.
And with a runner at second, at first, any base really, if your intention is to stay at third or second or first, after that pitch is thrown, hustle back to the bag like Cameron Maben did, get that uniform even more dirty. Like a split finger right there, a changeup. Tremendous movement.
So Headley has the count in his favor, 3-1. Infield back. And ball 4. So the walkingest Padre gets another free ticket. That's his 49th base on balls this year. So a couple men on walks. And Ryan Ludwig steps up. Ludwig in the midst of a tough time. 2 for the last 27. Nevertheless, the leading RBI producer with those 62 and home runs 11. Lots of gusty winds here blowing our papers around the booth. You can hear it in our field microphones. Infield stays back looking for a double play to bail Jimenez out of the inning. 93 on that fastball just off the edge. Headley at first, Maben down the line at third. Ripped, fair ball inside the bag into the corner. Maben scores. Headley races around second. He's going to be waved home. He's around third, and he will score. 2-1, San Diego. Ryan Ludwig delivers a 2-run double. 63rd and 64th RBIs of the year.
Ryan Ludwig is very aggressive on the fastball on the inside part of the plate. That one leaks. Alfonso wanted it down and away. He spins on that one nicely in between Stewart and the bag. And just like that,
ties it up at 2-all. So a 2-run homer to Tulowitzki, 2 walks for the Padres, and a 2-run double for Ludwig. So 3 men have walked here in the first inning, and they've all come around to score. Any lesson there?
Walks will kill you. And how about Chase Headley huffing and puffing? It was hitting the perfect spot.
2-0 to Guzman.
Down in that left field corner, and it looked like Eric Young Jr. kind of played that ball, wanting to play the carom, and then the ball kind of maybe just stayed down there, so he had to go get it, enabling Headley to come all the way around and score.
So Ludwig represents the go-ahead score out at second with just 1 out. And 3-0. Now Jimenez not sharp at all until Tulowitzki comes in from shortstop to try to wake him up.
You know, anytime you're a pitcher in any ball game, I think there's pressure no matter how well you've been pitching or how poorly you've been pitching. And to see a guy in the bullpen warming up and know that your name is being tweeted.
Lays that fastball in there at 94.
And to know that the general managers are burning up the phone lines with your name all over it, it's got to play between the ears to Ubaldo Jimenez, I would think.
Rogers, a starter, has been warming up since the first pitch. 3-2 to Guzman. 1 out, double by Ludwig, sending Maben and Headley home. And now the count full to Guzman. Ball 4, the third walk of the inning. And Bob Apodaca, pitching coach for the Rockies, comes out scratching his head as if to say, what in the world's going on here? Jim Tracy, head down in the third base dugout.
Well, I think the Padre hitters are doing a fine job of laying off the secondary pitches of Jimenez. I mean, Ryan Ludwig, he was all over a fastball, all over it, kept it fair. The split fingers, the curveball, the slider from Jimenez, they're just spitting on it, giving him good at-bats.
So the inning started with Maven walking, stealing second, and going to third on the throwing error by catcher Alfonso. Hudson struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Headley walked. Both Headley and Maven come in on the double by Ludwig, and now Guzman with a base on balls. And Chris Denorfia steps up. Denorfia on the infield, 4 straight at bats last night. Takes low, ball 1. Slider.
Well, the next twirl will be number 30 for Jimenez.
Chop foul.
You know, one thing Jimenez might be thinking, probably prior to the start, maybe in the clubhouse. I mean, let's face it, it's all over the news, right? If in fact he is traded, you know, he's going to move up 9 games in the standings, right? I mean, there is a team by the name of the Cleveland Indians who is interested in the starter, so that's a team in contention.
1-1. In for a strike. That looked more like the Jimenez fastball that dazzled the Rocky fans last year.
Well, remember, he was pumping it about 99, 100 at times. He was just electric, and then he dropped that split finger.
Struck him out. So 3 walks and 2 strikeouts for Jimenez here in the first inning. And Denorfia is now 0 for the last 11. Slider gets him here.
And look at the tilt on that slider, Dick. Straight down. And Chris Denorfia looked like maybe a 2-part swing. Trying to stay back, but that's one tough pitch to stay back on.
Alberto Gonzalez hitting .205, but he has 21 runs batted in. Chance for more here. Fastball. And Jimenez now finding the zone with his fastball. Ludwig still at second. Guzman at first. 1-1.
Now Jimenez will fall into the trap of overthrowing as well. And that spells trouble for any pitcher. Because the fastball will flatten out, elevate it.
Ground ball fair, just like Ludwig's, into the corner. Here comes Ludwig to score. Guzman right behind him, and he will score on a double by Gonzalez. 4-2 Padres. '22nd and 23rd RBIs of the year for Alberto Gonzalez. Well, he and Ludwig found the same path just inside the third base bag for doubles.
And different pitches. Ludwig smoked a fastball. That's a hanging slider, inner third of the plate. And thank goodness he keeps that fair. But Glenn Hoffman is going to need some ice on that shoulder, sending his Friars around to score. And the Padres playing catch-up, being down 2-0. They have doubled the 2. That 4 looking some kind of nice up there.
Number 8 hitter to bat here in the first inning, Rob Johnson at 207. With Gonzalez in scoring position. 3 walks and 2 doubles, and the Padres have 4 runs. That's on the outside corner, 1-1. A long first inning for Ubaldo Jimenez, 37 pitches.
Padre inning.
Shadows growing across Petco Park Field as we've passed the 6 o'clock hour in San Diego. Still plenty of sunshine out in the right field corner. wouldn't bite on that one in the dirt. 2-2.
And in the meantime, Esmiel Rogers still has that baseball in his hand in that Colorado Rocky bullpen, waiting for that phone to ring. Jim Wright, the bullpen coach, is right by that phone, anticipating that thing to ring.
Breaking ball just misses outside. A big curveball.
Yeah, he dropped his arm angle as well.
3-2.
Jimenez usually over the top, high 3/4. He wanted to give Rob Johnson a different look there by dropping the arm angle.
Ball 4, the 4th walk of the inning. Padres have hit around, or walked around, if you will. And Aaron Harang comes up.
You know, every pitcher is different. They think differently. You know, with all the word going around being traded, it may have affected Jimenez tonight. You never know.
Harang has 5 hits this year and 1 RBI. Ball 1. 42nd pitch of the inning. Gonzalez at second, Johnson at first with 2 outs. Ball 2.
And make it come to you. As each ball is thrown, now 2-0, that strike zone starts to shrink a little bit for Aaron Harang. Hey, turn that lineup over again.
Indians may be watching this and say, just hold off a second. Put that contract back.
Oh, they're watching.
2-1.
And that's another thing about these days. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, you find yourself a phone in the box to try to get a hold of somebody. Now, instantly,
that's looped to right, but Smith is there to make the catch. The Padres score 4 runs on only 2 hits and leave 2. And after 1, can that be? Here at Petco, a 1-inning score, 4-2. A couple of 2-run doubles. Ludwig and Gonzalez. As Jimenez came down the steps, greeted by Jim Tracy, and apparently the word is that was your last inning as a Colorado Rocky, because look at the reaction of the dugout. They're not hugging him after giving up 4 walks and 4 runs in the first inning. He's on his way to the American League apparently. And here comes Esmiel Rogers, who has been a spot starter for the Rockies, jogging in from the bullpen. He'd been warming up all of that inning. So Aaron Harang, after the top of the first, left with a 2-0 deficit. Now he has a 2-run lead. Chris Nelson, the second baseman, leads off. He'll be followed by Ian Stewart and Eliezer Alfonso, the catcher.
You know, that's got to be a bittersweet moment for Jimenez. You're talking 10.5 years he was a Rocky in that organization. Signed in 2001. Now going to the Tribe, it seems like.
As soon as we have official word as to the details of that trade and exactly where he is going, because other teams were after him as well. The Yankees, the Tigers. That's a strike. 3-1. Yeah, the leadoff walk by both pitchers led to inning where runs were scored. And a late strike call from Mike Everett.
And that's a good pitch. That's a good strike. I wish that umpires would call that more often.
Tied him up and dropped him to his knees. Second strikeout for Harang.
He wanted it down away. It leaks up and in. And you're right, Dick. Literally brings him to his backside there. Cannot get extended. Cannot get the bat on the ball. Take your seat.
And from our camera angle, that ball caught the strike zone high and inside. Ian Stewart grounds one to the first baseman Guzman. 3-1 on the putout. Brings up Alfonso, who's had only 17 at bats, 4 hits. Former Padre a couple of years ago. Played in 37 games here with San Diego. "32-year-old veteran from Venezuela."
There are guys like Alfonso throughout baseball that are good acquisitions for ball clubs because they realize what their role is. Keep their mouth shut. They work hard. They work well with the pitching staff. And that spells a long career. Played 12, 15 years in the big leagues doing that.
Chopped by Harang, charged by Gonzalez. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Harang. Coming up, bottom of the second, top of the order, 4-2 Padres. In before August 26th, you'll receive 5 complimentary tickets so you can enjoy great games this season. Sample the great seats here at Petco Park. Enjoy all the exciting benefits of being a Padres season ticket holder. Don't miss out. Call 619-795-5555 and tell the Padres you're in. It's nice to hear the stories of fans that are in buying tickets for a loved one as a surprise for next year because they've always wanted to have Padres season tickets, and coming here to the ballpark and picking the exact spot. You want to be behind third, behind home, down the right field side. Pick your spot. Esmil Rogers, the 25-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic. He has started 4 times this year, 6 games, hefty numbers, 8.49 ERA. .333 batting average again, so he takes over here in the second. Cameron Maben, who walked to lead off the first inning and came around to score, eventually on Ludwig's double. Cameron has hit home plate more than any Padre, 52 runs scored this year. Continues in the last 10 games, hitting .442. Strike. Ooh, really chased a bad pitch way outside and low. And Rogers has a strikeout.
Well, for Esmil Rogers, not a lot of big league service going into this year. Only 135 days before this year. And in his minor league days, a lot of games started, so he's familiar with the starting role. He throws a fastball, curveball, slider, and a change. We just saw a nasty slider out of the hand of Rogers for the strikeout.
Strike to Rogers. From Rogers to Hudson. He was signed by the Rockies as an infielder in the Dominican, and for the first 3 years of pro ball, he was a weak hitting infielder. And 2006, it loved his arm, said, why don't you try toe the slab? And he makes it to the big leagues as a pitcher. Popped up left side foul territory for the third baseman Stewart, and 2 away. Working his way up the minor league ladder: Casper, Asheville, Modesto, Tulsa, Colorado Springs, a AAA ball club for Colorado. Pitched 1 game in 2009 in relief, and was 2-3 last year in 28 games. But again, a heavy ERA, 6.13 last year, and he's over 8 this year. Chase Headley walked his first time. Well, Rogers comes in throwing strikes.
Yeah, free and easy motion. So I guess that 190 batting average in the Dominican League in 2005 was enough, huh? Follow your dream, like you said, getting on that hill and making it to the big leagues. Good for him.
One ball, 2 strikes to Headley. Padres taking advantage of Jimenez. Perhaps his mind wasn't on this game. He knew what was about to happen. And flailed in that first inning with 4 walks and a couple of 2-run doubles. Headley rolls an easy ground ball to Helton, who'll take care of the business. 1, 2, 3 the story. There's a young fan that his idol is on his way out of Denver and Colorado. So Esmil Rogers will bat here to lead off the third inning. We suspect he's a decent hitter. Coming up first 3 years pro ball as an infielder, and he is indeed 2 for 9. One and one. Eric Young and Dexter Fowler to bat here in the third after Rogers. Healthy cut.
Oh yeah, deep in his mind, he thinks he can still hit. I mean, let's face it, every pitcher thinks he can hit. So at least he's going to look good trying.
Ground ball right at Gonzalez. Straightens and throws him out. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Eric Young. Wednesdays, folks, officially free and easy at the Del Mar Racetrack. Diamond Club members enjoy free stretch run admission, free reserve seating, and a free program. Plus, enjoy half-price domestic draft beers, sodas, and hot dogs at select concessions. That's Wednesday, free and easy at Del Mar. Beautiful Del Mar. Turf meets the surf. A lot of folks visiting from out of state, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. During the heat of summer in those states, they're out here to enjoy our great weather. And you see them at the track, and they're doing the combo. Baseball, go to the track, enjoying the Padres. Nice to have them here. Young walked his first time, stole second, and came in on Tulowitzki's 20th home run of the year for the 2 runs. That's the only hit Harang has allowed. The home run by Tulowitzki, measured at 393 feet into the second tier at Western Metal Supply Company building.
Here's a breaking ball you should bounce. There you go.
2-2.
Now that's an adjustment, right? The Tulowitzki home run was an 0-2 breaking ball. Now he has the lead, and it's about making the adjustment. Johnson puts the glove on the ground. Hey, if you have to over-exaggerate to get the job done, do so.
And Harang hits Young, so Young on for the second time without having to put the ball in play.
On the right elbow, just below or just above the elbow, wanted to bury the fastball in. Man, he looks like his dad, Eric Young Jr. My goodness. I mean, just like his dad. I mean, his dad looks like he could still play. He's in such great shape. Now coaching for the Diamondbacks at first base.
Threat to go. He stole first time, and Fowler with that big swing. Switch hitting outfielder, batting left-handed .256, right-handed .274. Got a big series against the Dodgers coming in, a 3-game with LA up north. Went 7 for 14. A ball and a strike to Dexter Fowler. Struck out his first time. Young leaning a little bit that time. Two and one. With Helton on deck and Troy Tulowitzki in the hole. These are the table setters for Colorado, Young and Fowler. And Young's done his job. Up twice, on base twice. A walk and a hit by pitch. There he goes. And it's fouled out of play.
And you never know that Fowler may have done a favor right there. Well, he needs to tuck in that shirt, huh? Young at first base. He's got the tails working. He's got a formal event to go to tonight. Working the tuxedo tails.
Maybe going over to the gala of the Old Globe tonight. Yeah. Big fundraiser. 2-2. Aaron Harang aiming for his 10th win of the year. Back home in San Diego and pitching like a king.
Well, Fowler's getting some fastballs, that's for sure. That was a fastball. He could have done some damage with, taking it the other way.
He's out of there. Second time Fowler has struck out. 3 for Harang.
A little slider, it looks like, and he checks his swing. Home plate umpire Mike Everett, does he point at him? Yes, he does. He says, you went around. Good slider.
Here's Todd Helton, line to the third baseman. Chase Headley had to leap as high as he could go to spear it on its way into the left field corner. One and one to Helton. 2 out here in the third. 4-2 San Diego leads. Eric Young at first base. Orlando Hudson a couple of steps out on the grass at second base. Trying to close that hole. There goes Young. Throw by Johnson, and it's into center field. Young bounces to his feet and advances to third. So Young, his second stolen base. And the error by Johnson. Oh, a run 90 feet away.
Pretty good jump. Decent ball to handle. Good release. Does this hit the run? No, it just looks like Gonzalez whiffs on that one. Yeah, he looks like his glove went down, anticipated like he was going to go for the tag and didn't have the ball yet.
Pretty good throw.
It was a good throw. It was a very good throw from Rob Johnson.
That's a tough error charge to the catcher. 1-2 the count to Helton. How do you take that pitch? Well, you've been in the league a long time. That's how.
You know, getting back to that stolen base attempt, if I'm an official scorer, I'm looking at that replay. That's a very catchable ball. I'd have to consider E6 on that.
That might be the fair call. Struck him out. Took something off the curveball and hit the outside corner. That's a big strikeout. He gets Helton looking. 4 strikeouts for Harang. We go to the bottom of the third. The Padres up by 2. The 9 Honda dealers of San Diego County. Stop by and test drive the all-new, redesigned 2012 Civic and check out the latest offers on the full lineup of Hondas. We're along Tony Gwynn Drive, Petco Park. Place to be. Beautiful summer's night. Ryan Ludwig leads off the bottom of the third. The broken bat shattered and a ground ball to the second baseman Nelson. Ludwig with a 2-run double his first time. Let's go back to that stolen base, and here's one of those cases. To whom did you charge the error? Gonzalez trying to make the catch, and it looks like the slide of Young, his foot right into his glove, knocks it away. So somebody has to be charged with an error, and the catcher is the one that's victimized. Guzman walked first time, and he scored on a 2-run double by Alberto Gonzalez, the difference in the game. So walk, 2-run double Ludwig, another walk, 2-run double Gonzalez in the first inning. And now Esmil Rogers coming in for Ubaldo Jimenez, who has left the game apparently because he has been traded, and Rogers has retired all 4 men that he's faced. High pop-up. Nelson at second. And there's 2 away. 5 straight for Rogers. Hey, he's pitching. Good fortune for the Padres that Jimenez stayed around for an inning. Gave up 4 runs on 2 hits, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. DeNorfia, one of those strikeouts. He goes around on a half swing. Chris a little out of sync in the last few games. He's 0 for 11, taking some uncharacteristic weak swings. There's a strike, 0-2. Back to the mound. Rogers with the easy flip. And Esmil Rogers, 2 innings of pitching, 6 up, 6 down. Only 7 pitches required to retire the Padres in order in the third. By the Ascot shop in La Jolla. Took my morning walk, and they're having their big summer clearance sale there in Girard Street in La Jolla, and lots of activity. Some wonderful bargains there at the Ascot shop. Tulowitzki leads off the 4th inning. His homer measured at 393 feet. became a souvenir in the second deck. Western Metal Supply Company building back in the first inning after Eric Young had walked, giving the Rockies a short-lived 2-0 lead. It's the only hit Harang has allowed. Fastball 0-2.
Oh, how dare you call that a strike? I thought it was a pretty good pitch. That's that belt buckle high outside corner, called for a strike. There it is.
Outside corner. That looked a little wide. But after Tulowitzki gave plate umpire Mike Everett the look on the second pitch, he wasn't going to get the benefit of the doubt on that third pitch. I thought it was wide.
Let's see if Happy Star likes it.
Just a little outside. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Harang.
Yep.
5 in the game. Seth Smith popped to third baseman Headley, his only at bat. Big swing and a miss. Well, the scoreboard saluting the relationship between the Padres Foundation and the San Diego Public Library System, a $5,000 donation made by the Padres Foundation and Sony tonight. Talk about a worthy cause. And tomorrow, of course, Sunday, Military Sunday, 1 o'clock. Our TV time here on Channel 4 San Diego. Hope you'll be out here. It'll be Wade LeBlanc. Dustin Mosley, that left shoulder is still sore, so he'll pass his scheduled start. And LeBlanc, called up from Tucson, is 9-1. Will pitch against Juan Nicasio. He's 4-3, and mini bats given to the youngsters under 14. So big Sunday. Shot on the shift and a short hop to Gonzalez. So 3 men stacked up on the right side of the infield, denying Smith a base hit. That normally under a regular defensive alignment would have been into center field. Well, time for tonight's trivia question, brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Tonight's question: in 2006, the Padres acquired Heath Bell from the New York Mets. This is trade talk, so can you name the players that the Padres sent to the Mets? Padres also got left-handed pitcher Royce Ring. So Ring and Bell. That's got a ring to it, doesn't it? And who did the Padres send to get Heath Bell, who has just been absolutely brilliant here in San Diego? We'll have the answer bottom half of the inning. I guess you have to be a real Padre fan to remember that trade. Swing at a ball in the dirt, and he got a piece of it. Plate umpire Everett says foul tip. So Nelson still alive, 0-2.
That was a sharp breaky ball, a sharp curve ball from Harang. Very tough to see if that ball changed direction, but home plate umpire Mike Everett all over it. That's a tough call for any umpire, I think.
That'll be out of play down the right field side. And it's such a time for mixed emotions for fans. I don't think anyone wants to lose Heath Bell. He's been such a terrific performer out of the bullpen, and what we don't know is his strength in the clubhouse. Line drive, that's headed for the corner, and extra bases as Nelson rounds first. Ludwig digs it out. Nelson pulls up with a double. 2 outs here in the 4th.
There was a breaky ball to Troy Tulowitzki in the first inning that spelled trouble. 2-run shot, and this is a hanging breaky ball as well. That's a slider. Nelson catches it out in front, speeds up the second baseman's bat.
Just the second hit for the Rockies off Harang, a home run and now a double. And with 2 outs, here's Ian Stewart.
And both hangers. Breaking balls catching too much of the plate.
A beach ball is falling out of the left field bleachers.
That beach ball is going to spend the night in jail. Can't go on the field during the game.
Wisely, Ludwig flips it into the bullpen, and the boys out there need something to play with.
Sure, yeah.
The early innings.
Keep it loose
Don't
out there.
put it back in the bleachers. It'll come right back out. You learned that lesson in Los Angeles.
Oh, Josh Spence going to take it to the beach.
Down their little cubby hole there in the bullpen. Stewart, who has struggled this season, but came up with a big base hit last night in the 3-run second inning, drove in a run, and later scored the winning run on a balk. One and one the count. So we hope to see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock game. LeBlanc against Nicasio, and then the Dodgers in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night for 7:05 games. Driven to left. That ball is chasing Ludwig back, and it's off the wall. Nelson scores easily. Stewart into second with an RBI double, and it's 4-3. Well, that's the kind of hitting we saw from Stewart last year. That hasn't come up with that power to the opposite field, but he paints the wall with that laser. And the Rockies are within one, 4-3. A pair of 2-out doubles.
And Aaron Harang once again getting hurt by elevating a pitch. Elevating a curveball, a slider, and that looked like a fastball. And Ryan Ludwig playing that ball perfectly because he knew that ball was over his head. There's no way he's going to be able to get to it. Play the carom, hold him to a double.
Made it close at second base. Ludwig, who was tied for the National League lead with 9 assists. That was a big throw. Came close.
You got to know when to give up on it and say, hey, you know what? There's no chance of me going back and getting that ball on the fly.
Here's Alfonso, grounded to short his first time. And he hits this ball to center field. Maben has to retreat. Makes the catch, going away. Rockies get a run on a pair of 2-out doubles. Leave a man at second. Bottom of the 4th we go. 4-3 home team. As we check on our AT&T Wireless trivia answer, the question was, in 2006, the Padres traded whom to the Mets to get the ace reliever Heath Bell? Do you remember Ben Johnson, an outfielder, and right-handed pitcher John Atkins?
Sure
what
do.
a trade that was for the Padres.
I remember people in the minor league baseball ops. They had big things on tap for Ben Johnson. He was supposed to be the next, big stud outfielder for the Padres.
Was there any indication that Bell would be as good as he's become?
I knew that he threw hard, and Heath would be the first one to say at times he didn't know where it was going. He's really harnessed that, and the rest is history.
Esmil Rogers facing Gonzalez, Johnson, and Harang here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He's retired all 6 men that he's faced. And misses outside, falls behind 3-0 to Gonzalez, who drilled a ground double inside the bag of third into left field to drive in 2 runs, the difference in the game back in the 1st inning. That's a strike. And then Jimenez, who gave up 4 runs on 4 walks and 2 doubles, left the game. That's a leadoff walk. And Gonzalez is aboard. First man allowed to reach safely. That's Neil Rogers. Jimenez then came out of the game. Apparently has been traded. That's the obvious. But we have not received an official word as to the details of that trade. We're waiting for that. Rob Johnson, he was the 4th man that Jimenez walked in that first inning. Ball 1. You can see why Rogers with that arm.
Free and easy motion.
Yeah, 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, effortless. Why they made him a pitcher.
Ball jumps out of his hand.
That's in for a strike. 1-1.
In fact, thinking about that trivia question about Heath Bell. Heath made his major league debut against the Padres in 04, August 24th of 04, as a New York Met. I remember that game.
Well, I'm a romantic soul. I hope he's not traded. I hope Harang's not traded. He's a perfect fit here back home in San Diego. And Bell is so good in the bullpen and so good in the clubhouse. As we said yesterday, young Josh Spence, he buys him a $1,500 designer suit. He wants him to look good. You're a major leaguer now.
Right.
And that's a common action in all of sport that help out a rookie. But Bell's the one who steps forward, and he's been a leader on this team.
Sure.
And was certainly key to the great chemistry the Padres had last year as they fought for the pennant.
And I'm sure there was a veteran guy taking care of Heath Bell when he was a rookie, so you just pass that on as you get into the big leagues. Spend 4, 5, 6 years, you take care of the young guys like the veterans did when you were a youngster.
1-2 to Johnson. Foul back, I think, of Don Drysdale, and he talked about when he came up as a 19-year-old. Now he was tutored by Snyder and Reese and Campanelli. You want to be a big leaguer, act like one.
Right.
Get that money out and tip the bellman.
Right. Right.
And Big D carried all his money and wrapped it in a rubber band. And nothing fancy. He had some big dollars in there now.
There was no wallet big enough to hold all those $100, so he used a rubber band. Huh?
Rubber band. 1-2. And just jumping over to Al McGuire, he used to always say, watch out for a guy that has money in a rubber band, a $100 bill showing, because that's about all he's got. Well, Don had more than one.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And he wouldn't let you pay for anything because he was the major leaguer. 1-2. Struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Rogers. The 1 out to the pitcher Harang. But these professional athletes these days do take home big paychecks, and they can afford the little people around the game, and they're big people. I mean, little in terms of their salaries and income, and take care of those men and women. They're the ones who are making you a major leaguer. The conditions. Good bunt. You could hear the catcher Alfonso say no, because Rogers was thinking about going to second base. So a sacrifice bunt by Harang, helping himself, moves the runner into scoring position, and Cameron Maben with a chance to get that run back scored in the top of the inning by the Rockies.
A lot of those guys, Dick, talking about the veteran players, a lot of those guys fly under the radar too. They don't want to, they take care of families, they do charity work, and they take care of people in the clubhouse. And that's just the humility and the, being humble. They don't want to be recognized for that. There's a lot of stuff like that that goes on under the radar.
Cameron Maben walked and scored, and he struck out. Ground ball right side, but Nelson is there to close the gap and throw him out. No damage done by the Padres in the 4th inning, and we're on to the 5th. 4-3 San Diego.
Big game recap, as always, brought to you by my good friends at Murray Lamper Construction. Hey, folks, it's time to improve your home. Remodel, why not? Visit MurrayLamper.com and see their work. Get remodeling tips, meet the team, schedule a consultation. Professor?
All right, Mark Grant, here we go. Top of the 5th inning. Esmil Rogers coming in and doing a terrific job. Hasn't allowed a hit in his 3 innings, relieving the starter, Ubaldo Jimenez, and he drops a pretty good-looking bunt. Harang has to whirl and throw, and it's not in time. Rogers, the ex-infielder, beats out a bunt hit.
Showing some athleticism there with the shillelagh and running down the first base line. He placed that bunt perfectly. Nice drag bunt, deadening the ball, and Aaron Harang did everything he could. He just couldn't get enough on the baseball to a guy who has pretty decent speed. He gets down the line quickly.
4th Colorado hit, the first single. Tulowitzki, a 2-run homer, and a pair of doubles by Nelson and Stewart, the previous hits. And to the top of the order, Young, who's been on 2 times with a walk and a hit batsman. And he bunts foul. Kind of player that has enough speed that he can bunt for a base hit, but the very worst that might come out of it is he moves the runner up into scoring position. Switch hitter takes outside and high, 1-1. Rogers bluffing as if he's going. Could be 2. 1. Back to first. Not in time. Young racing out of the batter's box from that left side just too fast. And is safe on the fielder's choice. That gets Rogers off the bases, and the Rockies not upset by that.
And that ball was hit sharply. I mean, it wasn't a laser, but it was hit sharply, and everything done perfectly. Hudson, Gonzalez, and the difference, the speed of Eric Young Jr. He just gets there in time.
So he's on base for the 3rd consecutive time. Walked, stole second, and scored on the home run by Tulowitzki. Hit by a pitch, stole second, moved to 3rd on the error, charged to Johnson. But Rockies unable to get him home as Fowler and Hilton struck out. Here's Fowler. And apparently it's only a matter of time before Young tries to steal again, and that's exactly what Johnson is thinking as he calls for the pitch out.
So you pitch out there, now you fall behind 1-0. Logically, not saying it's going to happen, but you would think maybe a fastball down and away. Give your catcher a chance if in fact Young is going to go.
There he is. Swung on and missed. Johnson's throw is there in time. He's out. Perfect throw from Rob Johnson.
That was pretty. Pitch out, 1-0. Fastball away. Swung on and missed. And perfect mechanics, perfect throw right into the glove of Gonzalez. That's the old 2-6 play. Caught stealing. Thank you very much.
You know, that's one of the little moments within a game, the little pieces of drama that make this game of baseball so captivating. You have to be absolutely perfect. The runner racing, the catcher having to raise up and throw. And, you know, Young has that base stolen. If the throw by Johnson is even 2 feet higher, it had to be right there and was.
Now, the average time, big leagues, pitcher to catcher to second base, 3.3 seconds. Catcher to second base, 2 seconds. I'm talking average times now. Pitcher to catcher, 1.35. So, Dick, when you talk about the beauty of throwing a guy out, we just saw it.
Fastball on the inside corner, and Fowler has struck out for the 3rd time. Didn't like the call, and Harang's strikeout count reaches 6. As we're at the halfway mark in this one.
we are back with the Channel 4 home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. It's been a while. Hopefully it happens this inning. If a grand slam is hit this inning, you could win. Boy, what is that jackpot up to now? I think it's $45,500. $45,500 could be yours. You have to enter at 4st.com to be eligible, so good luck.
And it's got to be a grand slam home run in this inning. Hudson, Headley, and Ludwig try to set the table. Guzman could get the job done. 1 strike to Orlando Hudson. He is struck out and popped up to third baseman Ian Stewart. Lays off. Well, speaking of money, you know, money isn't everything.
I know.
Money isn't everything, but it sure keeps the kids in touch with you.
Oh,
especially as they get older. You know,
I'm learning that right now.
That's got the value. And it doesn't change as they get older. They don't stay in touch as much, but when they do, it costs you more.
Yeah.
But that's what parents are for, right? 1-2 to Hudson. Got him. Mike Everett's been a pitcher's umpire, but he's been consistent. The slider gives Rogers his 3rd strikeout. A lot of called strike 3s.
Esmil Rogers is lobbying nicely as he throws that slider on the inside corner to stay in that rotation for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, just take Jimenez's place. The way he's pitching, why not? He's got good stuff. Good. Look at that. Curveball in there. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Headley has walked and scored and grounded to first. Ryan Ludwig moves into the on-deck circle. Another name involved as we approach the trade deadline. Ludwig. I talked with him a couple days ago. I say, I hope you're not going, but if you are, I certainly wish you well. He's a stand-up guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think no one can quite appreciate the pressure he has been on since he arrived. That the bat that the Padres desperately needed, he's tried so hard, maybe too hard to deliver. He doesn't get a lot of protection in the lineup. Down low, did he go? No. So the count goes full. So, you know, you want to do so well that you carry the weight of trying so hard. There is a pressure with that, even with a big leaguer like Ludwig. He said, you know, the one thing, though, when I leave this game, I want to be remembered for one thing, that I was good in the clubhouse. I gave it everything I had. I had the respect of my teammates. He certainly has accomplished all of that here in San Diego. Swung on and missed. Or did he get a piece of it? Nope. Strike 3. So 4 strikeouts now for Rogers, who has not allowed a base hit since he came in to pitch the 2nd inning, as Jimenez has been traded now officially to Cleveland for 3 minor league prospects. Is the initial word. No names as yet. Ludwig, a 2-run double, and he scored himself on Gonzalez' 2-run double in the 1st inning for the 4 Padre runs. So you put a man like Ludwig in a lineup that has more thrust, and you put him, let's say, in the 6th spot in the order, which is probably where he belongs if you were playing in Philadelphia or Cincinnati, and you take some of that pressure off. I think most major league scouts and experts would agree he's not a cleanup hitter, but that's what the Padres have, and he has produced the RBI. 64, that's in the top 10. Hits that ball well to right field, but not deep enough. Smith toward the foul line makes the catch, and Esmil Rogers has allowed only 1 base runner in 4 innings, and that was a walk. 5 complete, 4-3 San Diego. tomorrow. We hope you'll come out, you kids, with mom and dad. See the Rockies conclude this series. And the first 8,000 of you, the first 8,000, 14 and under, will receive a Padres mini bat. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com. And that Keen souvenir item is yours. Line drive, base hit, first ball swinging. Todd Helton. And the leadoff man is on again for Colorado. That's their 5th hit off Harang. They've had the leadoff man successfully aboard in 4 innings. Make that 3 innings. Young walked to lead off the first inning, eventually scored. High fly ball in foul territory. Headley in the on-deck circle makes the catch. That's a tough play. He's running into bats and weighted material, and the catcher's over there, the ball kid, and good concentration by Headley.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to get any help from the visiting dugout as Rob Johnson. And look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on that on-deck circle, as you mentioned, Dick.
So Tulowitzki and Helton both go after the first pitch. Helton a line drive single, and Tulowitzki fouls out. Brings up Seth Smith. Pop to third, and a hard ground ball to the second baseman Hudson. Took a hit away because the Padres, with no one aboard at the time, were in the shift. It was Gonzalez, who is the shortstop on the second base side, who was there positioned to take the base hit away.
Good curveball from Aaron Harang. And going back to that at bat for Tulowitzki, first pitch hunting and fouling out. That's a big out for Aaron Harang.
Ahead of Seth Smith now, 2 strikes. Helton at first, a safe lead.
Well, Seth Smith this year has grounded into 6 double plays, and the leader in the category of grounding into double plays is Tulowitzki with 15.
And Smith runs very well. Tough to double him up.
Like running out of the pocket at Ole Miss.
Jammed him there. 0-2 the count remains.
Scrambling.
Like Clayton Richard.
Yeah.
At Michigan. Richard was stuck behind a couple of quarterbacks at U of M and got limited duty, and this man Smith at Ole Miss behind Eli Manning. Reaches out, fly ball softly. Ludwig a long run, makes the catch just below the kneecaps.
It's a long run. Off the end of the bat, it didn't have that clean, crisp sound. Well, watch him snag at that ball. And two-handed, cradles it with his throwing hand just to make sure. A little Ricky Henderson going out there with the snatch out there.
Old school, yeah. What's wrong with that? The way we were all taught. Of course, we had small gloves then.
Exactly.
You had to use
and
that.
The fingers weren't connected, right?
That's right. You know, Jerry Coleman talks about, the plays made by infielders. He said we just couldn't make those plays because our gloves were so small. We didn't have this big equipment. Now a part of the normal gear for the major leaguers and even down to Little League. Luke Gregerson jogging out there in the bullpen like he's getting ready in a hurry. Swing and a miss by Nelson, who struck out and doubled in the 4th inning with 2 outs. The line double to left and scored on Stewart's double. Luke's got that good slider going of late. That ball hit well down into the right field corner. Denorfia takes a look at it, and that ball is just foul. That was close.
Yes, it was.
Right at the tailor-made driver. At foul pole and right. Doesn't look like much off the bat, but the more it sails toward the line, the closer the walls are, and this one may be 2 seats wide of the foul pole. Nelson has a couple of home runs. So 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Hilton at first base. Good stop by Johnson. Harang and the Padres clinging to a 4-3 lead here in the 6th inning. Another 1-run game.
Yep.
Last night it was the Rockies winning 3-2. And the count now full, so Hilton, not a fast runner these days, will get a jump start.
Hey, you know what else is a good sign tonight? And we've seen 2 throws from Rob Johnson down to second base. Very accurate. Remember that foul tip off his throwing hand? No side effects at all for the Padre catcher. So that's a good sign.
Runner goes. High drive left center field. Long run for Maben. He can't get there. And oh, what a break. It bounces over the wall. A ground rule double. And so that will not score Hilton. He would have easily come in to tie the game had that ball stayed in play.
That's a big league hang with him.
So Nelson has doubled each of the last 2 times and did everything but tie the game with this shot to left center.
Middle in. Oh, he gets his hands through nicely, doesn't he? Ball hits the track. A little souvenir for the boys in the bullpen. And Hilton, you were on first. Got to go back to third, Todd.
So the Padres catch a break, and now they're going to walk Stewart to load the bases. Only the second walk allowed by Harang in the game. He walked the leadoff man in the first inning, Young, and he came around to score on Tulowitzki's home run. That gave the Rockies a 2-0 lead. Padres got 4 in the bottom half of the first inning off starter Ubaldo Jimenez, who left the game apparently on his way to Cleveland in a trade. A walk to Maben, a walk to Headley, 2-run double Ludwig, a walk to Guzman, a 2-run double by Gonzalez for a 4-2 lead. And in the 4th inning, the Rockies added their 3rd run on back-to-back doubles with 2 outs by Nelson and Stewart. So 4-3, and Bud Black is making a visit to the mound.
Remember, Bud Black has gone out in situations like this, talking to Aaron Harang in particular. Oh, you know, I think he just said good job. Yep, you can read his lips.
Harang 101 pitches, and he'll leave the game. The pitcher record, and if the Padres can hold the Rockies here, perhaps pick up his 10th win of the season. Another solid job by the veteran right-hander. Game with the bases loaded, and Luke Gregerson comes in out of the pen. His profile brought to you by Lolitas at the park, where you can enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Now, this is a situation where you might see Jason Giambi, but he's on the disabled list. Strained left quadricep. He's with the club, but on the DL. And so instead of Giambi, a frightening power hitter, there's the veteran. Jim Tracy stays with catcher Alfonso, who's grounded to short and flying to center. The tying run, Todd Helton at third, Nelson at second, Stewart with the intentional walk at first. 2 out here in the 6th. Gregerson trying to get the final out. Maintain the 4-3 Padre lead. Alfonso only 19 at bats this year, 4 hits. There's that slider.
It's back.
That's a good one.
Yes, it is.
That ball is hit a ton, and that will be a grand slam for Colorado. Alfonso cleans the bases, a grand slam, and the Rockies claim the lead 7-4. Oh my. Needless to say, his first home run of the year, a rare home run from the catcher. 4 runs on 1 swing.
Well, Aaron Harang was hanging some pitches today. He threw a curveball, a slider, got a fastball up, and that looked like a slider that caught too much of the plate. Ouch.
Esmil Rogers now is the pitcher of record, and those runs all but Alfonso's are on Harang's ticket, so he's charged with 6 runs. Cannot win, but could lose. Well, that's the one thing about relief pitching. They're proud of you. Want to not punish your pitching starter. You come in and get that out, get out of the inning, save him the trouble. But Alfonso was nothing but Mr. Trouble. Line drive, foul off the bat of Rogers, who grounded to short and bunted safely for a base hit.
Yeah, relievers really take pride in leaving those inherited runners out there, and it's just a bad location for a pitch for Luke. Speeding up the bat of Eliezer Alfonso. But like any reliever, how quickly can you erase that from the hard drive and get the next guy?
And pitcher Rogers drills a single to left field. He's 2 for 3. So the inning started with Helton single to right. Tulowitzki fouled out. Smith flied out. Nelson double to left center. The Padres got a break when the ball bounded into the bullpen for a ground rule double, so Helton had returned to third, second and third. So they walked Stewart to load the bases, and Harang comes out. Gregerson comes in, and Alfonso blasts a grand master. His first ever slam in the major leagues, only his 17th career homer. Line drive Young at Ludwig for the final out. But the Rockies score 4 on the big swing by catcher Alfonso, and they have taken a 7-4 lead. Alfonso. And now let's go to the trade. Not stunning in that Jimenez had been rumored to go to Cleveland. It has not received the Major League Baseball stamp, so in essence not official, but the deal has been done. Drew Pomeranz was the key, a left-handed pitcher, 3-3 with a brilliant ERA in the minors. Alex White, a right-handed pitcher. Matt McBride, a .282 career average in 6 minor league seasons. A first baseman, and Joe Gardner, another right-handed pitcher. So they get 3 pitchers and a first baseman, the Rockies. John Weisbarth was down near the media area, and you were able to talk to Jimenez or get some additional information, John.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And as you say, this deal not official yet, but it looks like the trade is finally done. And I say finally because, as you mentioned, the talk around this deal really heated up about an hour before first pitch. There were numerous reports that it was imminent, a couple reports that it was done. So we were all pretty surprised when Jimenez went out and started warming up. No one was more surprised, though, than Ubaldo Jimenez. He said, look, everyone knew this was a done deal. He had no idea that he was going to start today. He figured, look, it was a done thing. Obviously, when he got out there to the mound, as he said, his mind was not really on pitching. It was elsewhere.
There's Guzman drilling the ball into the right field corner. That's the first hit off Rogers. A stand-up double for Jesus Guzman. Yeah, he pitched like his heart wasn't in it, that he was kind of surprised to be out there.
Yeah, he absolutely was. And I think some of the speculation was that was kind of a power play move that the Rockies were trying to do to get a 4th guy in the deal with Cleveland, saying, look, okay, if you guys aren't going to do that, then fine, the trade's off. And that's why they marched him out here. Again, that's kind of what the talk was. I'm not sure if that is, in fact, why. But it looks like if that was the case, doing a power play move like that, it worked out, because this deal, as we say, looks to finally be done. As you said, for his part, Ubaldo Jimenez, he was a little shell-shocked. I mean, he's spent his whole career with the Rockies, 10 years. You could tell, it was tough for him. He said it's hard to be traded. It's hard to happen, but it is part of the game. So he will move on, goes to a team that's contending, and the Rockies will have to move on without him. That's about all I have on that.
Well, thanks, John, for that report.
Good work.
No problem, guys.
Guzman at second base with a double, and Chris Denorfia, the batter. Did not go around.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions to Midnight, but he covered it nicely regarding being a homegrown Rocky. Ubaldo Jimenez now going on, possibly, to a contender. I mean, that's a lot of time in one organization.
Key player coming from Cleveland to the Rockies is Pomeranz. That went toward the line. Smith, a long run. He's there and makes the catch. Tagging and advancing is Guzman. With 1 out, Gonzalez comes up. Padres, after that blast by Alfonso, the grand slam, it would certainly help the morale of that dugout and these fans to pick up one of those runs back, make it a 7-5 game. And here's a chance to score on an out. Gonzalez has knocked in 2 with a double, and he's walked.
Well, the Rockies tonight have shown that they've hit a few mistakes, and they've all been on breaking balls.
Can't blame Coors Field for the 2 big home runs tonight. Tulowitzki's and Alfonso's, both into the Western Metal Supply Company decks. Infield back. Any ground ball by the pitcher brings in a run. 2-0. So that makes sense, doesn't it? The way Jimenez pitched. I mean, he all of a sudden he's out. What am I doing out here? I'm not even part of the team, am I? And he pitched that way. 4 walks and a pair of 2-run doubles in the first inning for the Padres.
There are some pitchers who can pitch with distractions, and then there are guys who let it affect them. And we heard from John Weisbarth firsthand that he was quoted as saying, yeah, it affected him tonight.
And that's limited contact we've had with Jimenez and talking with the Rocky people and players, that he is a very sensitive guy, very popular in the clubhouse. A genuine sort, and yeah, it's tough to swallow. It's a divorce in baseball. 2-1 to Gonzalez. Out of play. So Rogers now has to think strikeout with a runner at third, one out.
And then there are players who, throughout any sport, stuff is going on off the field, and yet when they're on the field, they just deal. I mean, they're at like the top of their game.
Meanwhile, Les Neil Rogers, couldn't ask more of him. He's got 2 hits. The Padres have only 1 off him. Chopped, and that'll get a run home. The throw by third baseman Stewart across for the out, and Gonzalez picks up an RBI, his 3rd of the game, his 24th of the season. Seven to 5, Colorado. And still plenty of time to go here at Petco. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Johnson has walked and struck out. Breaking ball away, and Johnson able to check his swing. Logan Forsythe, should Johnson safely reach, would be the pinch hitter for Luke Gregerson. 2-0. And when the Padres score 5 runs, you expect them to win. They don't often give up the grand slam. I think that's the first of the year against Padre pitching. High foul out of play. That one hooking foul down the left field line. Way out in front was Johnson. 2-2.
We've heard of players using the whole field. Rob Johnson's using the whole stadium. Let's see if he can get a mistake from Rogers, and maybe a breaking ball in the zone and do some damage with it. Breaking ball. You know, I could tell that. The way that the catcher, Alfonso, set up, nobody on base, they get in that squat to anticipate that ball. Usually with a fastball, they'll get into an easier crouch. Fastball.
High chopper, charged by Tulowitzki, and with that great arm, he throws him out. But the Padres pick up a run, the leadoff double by Guzman, and he comes around and scores on Gonzalez groundout. After 6 at Petco, 7-5 Rockies. Southern California's premier dental implant center. By MTS. MTS moves me. And by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego County Cadillac dealer for an attractive lease or purchase offer. 7-5, Rockies using the home run ball. A 2-run shot by Troy Tulowitzki and a grand master by Alfonso the catcher. Gregerson stays in. Gave up the home run and a single to Rogers before getting Young to line out to end the 6th inning. So it's Fowler, Helton, and Tulowitzki here in the 7th. Fowler struck out all 3 times against Harang. Lined into the right field corner, and they're picking on Gregerson. Denorfia plays it in. Fowler with a double. So since coming in with the bases loaded, Gregerson has given up a grand slam home run, a line single by the pitcher Rogers, a line out by Young, and a bullet double off the bat of Fowler.
Well, the switch hitter hitting against the righty Gregerson, and that looks like a flat slider from Luke. Doesn't have the tilt or the break that we've seen in the past. Speeds up his bat, and he deposits that into the right field corner.
And now Gregerson has to face the meat of the order: Helton, Tulowitzki, and Smith. Veteran first baseman has lined sharply to third, struck out, and singled and scored. Ernesto Frieri, back from paternity hiatus, is warming up in the bullpen. Pretty good looking pitch there. There's Ernesto. Went back to his home in Colombia to welcome his new daughter, Alana. High fly ball. Hilton to right. Denorfia eases back toward the track. Tagging is Fowler. The long throw won't be in time, but close as he eased his way in there, Fowler. And almost left the bag as Headley slapped the tag on him. Good throw by Denorfia. A little too casual was Fowler on that advance. Well, our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal at Los Primos. Troy Tulowitzki, most RBIs by a shortstop this season in the National League. Look at the distance between Tulowitzki and the rest of the shortstops. They all become ordinary when you compare them with this hard-hitting shortstop who has knocked in 2 more runs today. Watch out. Mean check swing foul ball. 2-run homer, 393 feet into the second tier. The Western Metal Supply Company building. Struck out and fouled out.
Gap power, home run power, on base percentage up there above 350. He just does it all.
Infield draws in with 1 out and a man at third. Fowler. That's going to make the seats.
But like I always say, even the great ones, they can be pitched to. You make the right pitch. Sometimes they get themselves out. Like last at bat, we talked about Tulowitzki. First pitch hunting, and he fouled out in foul territory to chase Headley. Sometimes he'll chase and get a little froggy up there at the plate and chase a pitcher's pitch.
Headley, Gonzalez, Hudson, and Guzman around the horn playing tight. 2 strikes to count.
Get it down there.
Got him. Held on, but no.
Yeah,
he Johnson held on. I thought maybe the ball might have bounced first, but Tulowitzki took a look, hesitated, and walks to the dugout. Struck out by Gregerson.
Way to hang on, Rob Johnson. He clearly catches that cleanly off the bat of Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki lobbies to the home plate umpire, Mike Everett, but he says, It's a punch out.
So 2 out. The infield can move back, and here's Seth Smith. They're going to intentionally walk him. to get to Chris Nelson, who has a pair of doubles and has scored 2 runs. Yet they're going with the odds of right-hander against right-hander. Smith 0 for 3 prior to this at bat. Padres can ill afford to give that run back. They pulled within 2, 7-5. But the way the Rockies bullpen pitched last night, they made it mighty tough. Jim Tracy used 5 different relievers to work the final 2 2/3 innings, and the Padres managed only 1 hit off those 5, as finally Houston Street secured the win 3-2. Slider works its way over the inside corner. Struck out the first time and hit 2 right on the nose. Double to left center. Backs him away with a fastball. Ian Stewart on deck. 2 outs. Runners at the corners for the Rockies here in the 7th. Misses inside again. $37,034 the paid attendance just announced. 2 balls and a strike. Chris Nelson, the hitter. And he gives him the slider on the inside corner.
I love that pitch. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, the slider that starts in off the plate and then catches that inside corner. Not much a hitter can do with that pitch. Now the thing is, if you leave it over the heart of the plate, it's a different story.
First round draft pick of the Rockies 7 years ago, Chris Nelson. Highly thought of, was the 9th overall selection back in 2004. Smith at first. Fowler at third. 2 outs. And 2-2 the count. Runner goes. It's fouled back. Well, tomorrow, Wade LeBlanc, called up from Tucson, will be the starter for Dustin Mosley, unable to go because of that left shoulder pain. Juan Nicasio scheduled for Colorado. There's Dustin. Mini Bats Day, Military Day, lots of activity. Weather is going to be terrific. Many fans will enjoy the park in the park. Line drive back through the middle. Nelson has his 3rd straight hit, and the Rockies lead 8-5 as Fowler comes in from third. Luke Gregerson having a rough outing. Nelson's 6th RBI of the season. The man hitting 8th, Alfonso, had no RBIs coming into the game and got 4 in 1 swing.
Well, I've noticed that Chris Nelson also has some good plate coverage, because if taken, that slider there, that would have definitely been a ball, and that ball kind of knuckles off the bat.
And so a pitching change will be made as Bud Black has called in Ernesto Frieri. Well, a tough outing for Gregerson. Padres trail 8-5. In comes Frieri. fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening, 7 days a week, happy hour. Friere back from Colombia. New daughter, Alana. He's even had time to stitch her name on the back of his baseball spikes. Get the right angle. See if we can pick that up. 2 outs, 2 on. A run in here for the Rockies in the 7th. Ian Stewart, the batter.
Boy, was there a big smile on Ernesto's face when he was in that clubhouse telling everybody about the new arrival. Good for him. Ernesto Friere, the giver of life.
Outside 2-0. Unfortunately, he's wearing the long baseball pants, and they're covering the shoes where he's stitched his daughter's name, so it's under there. Trust us. 2-0 to Stewart. He goes for the downs. He has an RBI double. He was intentionally walked. That was the final pitch thrown by starter Aaron Harang, who left with the Padres in front 4-3, but the bases loaded. And Gregerson came in and served up the grand slam homer to Alfonso. And his troubles continued here in the 7th inning. A double, intentional walk, and an RBI single by Nelson. And the Rockies have an 8-5 advantage. 3-1 to Stewart. With Smith at second and Nelson at first. And the bases are loaded. And Alfonso comes up again with the bases drunk. What an opportunity for a man who's had, coming into the game, 4 hits and 17 at bats, no home runs, no runs batted in. And then he goes 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly ball. Homers with the bases loaded and comes up again the next inning with the bases loaded. How dramatic can this be for the veteran catcher? Backs him off with a fastball. Friere leads all National League relief pitchers hitting batters 9 times. Not the time to do that.
Yeah, sometimes that can be a good thing. Huh? Not in this situation, as you just mentioned.
2-0. Ty Wigginton is on deck. Veteran third baseman. A run in here in the 7th. Couple of walks and the RBI single. And the bases loaded again for Alfonso. Three and 0. Friere digging a hole. He walks Stewart. And 3-0. And so Hudson comes in, try to get him into a good rhythm here. Come on, give us a chance. Make him hit it. Pained expression from the skipper.
You know, honestly, I'm just speaking from the heart here. I'd rather have a guy come 1-0 than 3-0 to visit me on the mound.
Checks a swing, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and the Rockies are gifted another run. The fans don't like it. You can't blame them. Bases remain loaded. Score now 9-5. Smith checks in. Nelson to third. Stewart to second. Alfonso is credited with an RBI, so he has 5 in 1 game. And now Ty Wigginton, the pinch hitter for Rogers. I don't know if I'd pinch hit for him. He was 2 for 3, Rogers. He looked like a solid hitter, didn't he? Grounded to short, bunt single, and a line single.
There's the adjustment they need right there. And Wigginton probably taking a strike because of the wildness of Ernesto. So he needs to make an adjustment here, make 1 pitch, get out of this inning. Get the 2 strikes, then go for the strikeout.
Fouls it back. Good location there. Jammed him. Foul.
Those are the ones that frustrate catchers because the foul tip can hang on to it. And I mentioned it before, but that is something that you cannot practice. That's just luck of the draw if that ball sticks in that glove for the strikeout.
Got him. But Rockies add 2 more on 2 hits and leave the bases loaded. Stretch half of the 7th. Colorado leading 9-5. On tires. National League West action. The Reds got 5 in the first inning off Madison Bumgarner and have gone on to defeat the Giants 7-2. Only 7 hits, but plenty of runs. Bumgarner had control problems, and the Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Play just underway at Dodger Stadium. Willie Bloomquist with a sacrifice fly for the D-backs, who have a chance to move within 3 of the Giants atop the National League West as Matt Lindstrom comes in. We saw him last night. He pitched a third of an inning, allowed a hit, no runs. Tough line score for Gregerson. 1 inning, 3 runs, all earned, 4 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. And Frieri giving up the bases loaded walk, but that went on Gregerson's card. Logan Forsythe, the pinch hitter. And he's fallen behind 0-2. Forsythe takes a lot of strikes. And when he's struck out often, it's been looking. It's a matter of feeling comfortable. He certainly has all the actions of a big leaguer.
And you know what? Put yourself in Logan Forsythe's spot here. Cold off the bench. I don't care how many cuts you take in the cage, how many times Ray Crone throws to you in the cage. You got to face a guy like Matt Lindstrom in the 7th inning who throws 96-98. That's tough duty for anybody.
'97, 2-2. Carries himself well, this young man.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he acts like, that he belongs, and some rookies don't. He doesn't play scared. And 3-2. Went to the breaking ball.
I think Logan Forsythe possesses the even keel that good athletes need to have. He's confident in his abilities.
High fly ball to the right fielder, Seth Smith. We got plenty of it, but underneath.
Well, Bud Black is probably one of the better managers in baseball to know how to treat certain players in certain situations. Hey, Ernesto knows he didn't do the job out there, right? Throwing strikes, coming in and trying to get quick outs to get back in the dugout. And Buddy's, saying, you know what? He's lighting the fire on them. Okay, you need to get it going. We need you to fire strikes. He knows it.
Yeah, that was tutorial, but with a bite. There was a little fire in those words.
And Buddy knows when to do that. I think that's what makes him so good. He knows when to pat guys on the backside, and he knows when to light a fire. It's all about being a manager, and a good manager at that.
Cameron Maben walked and scored in the first inning, struck out and grounded out. Stole his 24th base in the process in the first inning. With Orlando Hudson on deck. Padres now 4 runs down here in the 7th.
Hey, I remember times my pitching coach and my manager lighting a fire. Hey, it had, there's certain guys that works. Worked for me. I was deathly afraid of my coaches. You talk about respecting your coaches and manager. I tell you to jump, I said how high. I mean, that's just the way I was raised, and that's the way I, played.
I certainly didn't reach any level. You were dancing on the way to the major leagues, but I felt the same way. Your coach was your second father, your manager in a way, and you wanted to please him.
Sure.
And not a bad thing to be a little afraid of failure, that you want to come through for the man that's your leader. Boy, Lindstrom gives you a lot of body and leg kick and arms and elbows flying at you, and then drills the fastball up there at 97, the slider at 83. $37,034, buoyed by over 12,000 folks from Scripps. Oh, that's nasty. 2 away.
And a job well done by those people from Scripps. A great organization. Rally Towel Night. A lot of white T-shirts that says Scripps on it. We thank you for all you do in our great city of San Diego and beyond.
It's not only the doctors and nurses and employees, brought all the kids. They had the slides out there in the parking lot and games, activity.
I knocked 3 kids down just so I could go down the slide. It looked like so much fun.
2 strikeouts and a pop-up for Hudson today and tonight.
Boy, he uses his whole body, doesn't he, Lindstrom? High leg kick, driving off that back leg. Everything in motion towards the plate. He would have to fall into the category of a maximum effort type guy, wouldn't you think? Rogers was free and easy and smooth, and bam. But Lindstrom, he uses everything to his advantage.
He's throwing himself at the hitter, and then he comes in with a slider, taking about 14 miles an hour off his fastball. 1-2 the count. Rockies, of course, are playing without 2 of their big bats, left-handed bats, Jason Giambi, but more importantly, right fielder Carlos Gonzalez, who's on the disabled list. A wrist injury that's been plaguing him, started last year and continued through this season. There's Carlos, one of the top players in the league. Full count to Hudson. Gonzalez, .336 average last year. He finished 3rd in the National League MVP voting, Silver Slugger and a Gold Glove. He went around. Lindstrom strikes out 2. Impressive 1-2-3 inning for the reliever. And after 7, the Rockies lead by 4. few minutes of daylight as Padres baseball brought to you by the summer's best event from Cadillac. Get exceptional offers on the entire Cadillac lineup, including the versatile SRX crossover. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealer tonight.
Give me some peanuts, popcorn, give me a drink, and a Padre hat. Got to have the Padre hat.
Oh, yeah.
And you enjoy a big league ball game.
Top of the 8th inning, Frieri stays in. Eric Young, Fowler, and Helton to bat for the men from Denver.
Come on now, he's got to make an adjustment. He's got to trust his fastball, throw it towards the heart of the plate, let the ball move, let the ball run, do some action, and challenge these Rockies.
And a game and a day and night where an unlikely hero, Eliezer Alfonso, has knocked in 5 runs, had no RBIs coming into the game. Grand slam homer and a bases loaded walk.
There you go.
Young has walked and scored, hit by a pitch, stole a base on both occasions, safe on a fielder's choice, and lined out to left field. Thrown out trying to steal in the 5th on a perfect throw by Rob Johnson. Late swing. Full count. Pitching matchups in the Dodger series Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all 6:30 start times for a Honda dealer pregame show. Lutke and Kershaw Monday night. Latos and Kuroda. He's not been traded yet, despite all the talk about Kuroda being swapped for someone else. And then Tim Stauffer and Ted Lilly on Wednesday night. Ground ball at Headley. Across in time, and Young is gone. 5-3 to lead off the 8th inning. That brings us to our Sky Cam shot. Looking out over beautiful San Diego. Brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. You see those shots and you just have to take a deep breath and say, I live here.
Yep, we are spoiled, that's for sure.
Breathtaking. Fowler fouls it off. If you were Fairler, would you fair it off? Probably not. Hey, don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things is what I say. That's what I say.
That's good advice. You know, you learn something new every time you come to the ballpark. I just learned something new. Don't pet the sweaty things,
but don't sweat the petty things.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Both things are important. 2-1 the count to Fowler. Doubled his last time, leading off the 7th inning. Came around to score. Hits this one well to right center. Denorfia into the gap. Dives, can't get it. Maben backs him up, but with Fowler's speed, he's on his way to third and will cruise in with a stand-up triple. That's his 9th triple of the season. So double triple his last 2 times up.
Well, the Colorado Rockies going to this ball game ranked 2nd in the triples category in the National League. You know, Coors Field has a lot to do with that when they split the gaps, and you combine that with the speed of guys like Eric Young Jr. and Dexter Fowler. The triple comes into play. Came into play right there.
Infield will draw in. Todd Helton has lined sharply to third, struck out, singled and scored, and flied to right. Pops him up. Headley waits for it to come down. Helton flips the bat away in disgust with himself. And there's 2 away. Rockies won't get an extra run on and out. That'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki got things started for the Rockies in the first inning. Young had walked, and with 2 outs, he delivered Aaron Harang's breaking ball into the second deck in the left field corner, Western Metal Supply Company building. His 20th home run of the year. He now has 71 runs batted in, and a chance for another with Fowler standing at third. 2 out. It's a big pitch made by Frieri to get Helton to pop up. Now Aaron Harang left the game with a 4-3 lead, a chance to pick up his 10th win against only 2 losses, but Gregerson's relief work came up short, and Alfonso's swing came up long. A grand slam homer. 6 runs charged to Harang, and now he would be the losing pitcher tonight. Tulowitzki 1-2. Tough year for Bud Black. And these are tough times this weekend, regardless of what happens. Drive to right center field. That's up the alley. Will it carry all the way? Bounces against the wall. Tulowitzki with a double. Fowler scores, and it's a 10-5 Colorado lead. Tulowitzki with his 3rd RBI on the afternoon evening. Well, you talk a lot about Coors Field and the hitter's paradise and how tough it is to hit here at Petco Park, but how do you explain then the fact that a team like the Rockies come in and clean up the yard?
So the fastball from Ernesto Frieri kind of flattening out a little bit and getting elevated. It just goes to show you that Troy Tulowitzki just trying not to pull that last pitch and taking it the opposite way.
Seth Smith 0 for 3. He scored a run after he was walked intentionally. Boy, the Rockies extra base hits today. 2 home runs, 5 doubles, and a triple. 8 extra base hits of their dozen on the board. The only singles, 2 by the pitcher, Esmil Rogers, the pitcher of record. RBI single by Nelson. And a single by Helton. Popped up. Shortstop Forsythe gives way to Ludwig. The 8th inning ends for the Rockies. They get another run on a triple by Fowler, and Tulowitzki's long double to right center. 10-5 Colorado. Saturday, August 20th, the Padres and the Marlins, a 5:35 game. Country star Dierks Bentley performing live on the field after the game. Special post-game concert is free with a game ticket. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com/Dierks. Well, adding insult to injury, Jim Tracy brings in Rafael Betancourt to pitch with a 10-5 Rockies lead. Ryan Spilborghs replaces Young in left field. Spilborgh's a defensive replacement, and Betancourt, Mr. Slow Motion on the mound. The Snail ready to work. Headley, Ludwig, and Guzman for the Padres in the last of the 8th. Chase walked in the first and scored on Ludwig's double. He's grounded out and struck out. 0 for 2 officially. Lots of rumors, but no action in the trade market for the Padres. But the Rockies have traded Ubaldo Jimenez, that's now official, to the Cleveland Indians. It pens a physical examination of Jimenez. Veteran Betancourt, 92 miles an hour. Heath Bell, of course, primary subject, along with Mike Adams from the Padre bullpen.
Still got the hoodies on, still got the unis on. Hi, Josh. Hi, Heath.
Bell has adopted the young Aussie.
Yeah.
Soft one hopper off the chest of second baseman Nelson. That had a lot of backspin on it. He misplayed it. And safe as Headley.
Ball must have had tremendous topspin on it. I think it's got to be an error.
Oh, yeah. He played that like it was the Hornet.
Yeah. It is, in fact, an E4 if you're scoring at home.
Brian Ludwig knocked in the first 2 Padre runs in the first inning after Maben and Headley had walked with a double into the left field corner. He now has 64 RBIs for the year. Headley goes. They didn't pay much attention to him. We'll see him. What do they call this, a steal or defensive indifference? They're going to call it a stolen base, and that'll be the 10th of the year for Headley. So that makes 6 Padres on the stealingest team in the National League and the major leagues for that matter. 6 different Padres with 10 or more. Led by Maben with 24. Still can bring it. 93. Padres with 2 steals today, so they've hiked their major league lead to 117. New York and Kansas City, the Yankees and Kansas City with 104. The teams that are the second most successful stealing bases. 2 strikes to Ludwig. Line drive, just foul. Ludwig flirting with another RBI double. Ludwig currently tied for 10th in the league in RBIs with Albert Pujols with 64. One hopper nicely blocked by Alfonso. I would dare say Alfonso in his major league career has never had a 5 RBI game.
That's something we could find out.
All right, Mr. Research, let's go get him.
Hubba hubba.
1-2 to Ludwig. Got him. Went to the slider. One away. Jesus Guzman, 1 for 2 officially. He walked and scored in the first, popped up in the second, and lined a double into the right field corner his last time and scored. So he scored 2 of the Padres' 5 runs. More and more, this 27-year-old looks like a keeper. That one goes up over our heads.
Hey, Dick, tomorrow's Military Sunday, right?
Right.
And we'd like to take care of our military here in San Diego. Well, my good friend Paul Palmer, he is the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Great organization.
Mm-hmm.
They've come up with this thing called Operation Bigs. The goal is to serve all military children with a deployed parent. They benefit on one-on-one mentoring. They're having a cookout August 15th here at the ballpark. All the proceeds benefit Operation Bigs. It's a great event.
Mm-hmm.
So mark that on your calendar. August 15th. They're going to cook for 3,000 people. Phil's Barbecue. Cook for 3,000 people. 1,000 in attendance can be bigs and kids.
That's a Monday night against the Mets.
Right. So mark that down and help out a great cause. Big Brothers and Big Sisters and Operation Bigs.
Guzman, did he go? Yes, he did. Chris Guccione. So the count, 2 strikes on Guzman. Headley safe on the air. Stolen base. Out at second with 1 out here in the 8th. Padres need a handful. Trailing 10-5. Rafael Betancourt, the baseball answer to no-dos.
You dropped a snail on him earlier, huh?
Yeah, that's his nickname now. He's the snail.
Yeah.
Base hit up the middle. Guzman delivers again. Headley will score. It's a 10-6 game. Guzman, the first Padre with 2 hits. And he's just knocked in his 18th run of the season.
Fighting up a high fastball from Betancourt. He wanted it down and away. It leaks middle in and up. Fights it off nicely. A good looking hack by Guzman.
Brings up Chris Denorfia, 0 for 3. Chris, who had that average up around 300 for most of the season, has kind of eroded on him down to 264.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Trading Places. Since you're talking about snails. Did you hear about the snail that went to the Cadillac dealer? Wanted a big S on the hood. He wanted another big S on each door. So when he went down the boulevard, he would say, "Look at that S car go."
That's in Trading Places?
Yeah, great. Eddie Murphy tells that joke. Look at that S car go.
Eddie Murphy, how funny is he?
Oh.
Those Saturday night skits.
Oh, yeah.
Played Mr. Robinson.
Yeah.
I met him when he was still a teenager in New York. He didn't even know what baseball was, and I'm trying to think who brought him up to the broadcast booth.
Really?
It was a friend of Drysdale's.
Oh, I would have loved to meet him.
And no one knew that he was going to be a superstar.
Right.
But he had that little giggle, that big smile. You liked him right away. 1-1 the count. Drops the slider in there. 1-2. The wave is on. What was it, in Texas? I read that
yes.
they tongue-in-cheek tried to ban the wave.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, you disturb fans who don't want to contribute, and actually there is some truth in that. 1-2. Did he go? Yes. So Venorthia wears the collar, 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. Kyle Blanks will pinch hit for Frieri. The fact that there are some fans who don't want to participate, but if people are standing up in front of them constantly, then they got to stand up to watch the game. And, you know, you could consider that a bit of inconvenience. So tongue-in-cheek, I think the Rangers said we're going to ban the wave.
Right.
That's all in good fun, I suppose. Blanks would make it more fun if you could tie into one of Betancourt's fastballs. Runner goes. That'll be defensive indifference, I believe.
I believe Helton was kind of holding him on over there at first base. He wasn't playing behind him, so.
No, it's a DI. No, stolen base. My goodness. All right. No, now they've changed to no stolen base. DI. So base hit for Blanks could pull the Padres within 3. One ball, one strike to Big Kyle. Trying to find the stroke that produced the big average down at Tucson. He's 2 for 20 as he steps in. Curveball for a strike. That's 1-2.
Yeah, that's a good biting breaking ball. Good tilt to it from Betancourt.
Weak swing at a ball in the dirt. The slider fooled Blanks. He's out, and so are the Padres in the 8th inning. As Betancourt strikes out the side, gives up an unearned run, and it's a 10-6 Rockies lead. Honor their all-time saves leader, Trevor Hoffman. And it is now a special pre-game retirement ceremony. President Tom Garfinkel announcing that instead of it being a post-game, gives the fans a chance to get out of here early, know exactly when the ceremony is going to be conducted. So it'll be pre-game as the Padres host the Florida Marlins. Don't miss this big Padre event. Get your tickets before they're gone at padres.com/Trevor. August 21st. A 1:35 Sunday game against the Marlins. Well, just to clean up some business, indeed, this is Alonso's first 5 RBI game in the major leagues as Anthony Bass comes in to work the top of the 9th inning and will face Nelson, Stewart, and Alfonso. And it's the second grand slam hit against Padre pitching this year. Ryan Delmott of Pittsburgh took Clayton Richard for a grand salami back on May 4th. Nelson rips a shot to the backhand of Hudson. Good play by the veteran at second base. So Nelson, 2 doubles, a single, and bids for a 4-hit game, but couldn't elude the Gold Glove of Orlando Hudson. And 10 runs scored by the Rockies here today. Tied the most allowed by Padre pitching at Petco. June 25th, Atlanta hit the plate 10 times. Stewart, RBI double, walked twice, and grounded out. 1 for 2, and he scored a run. One and one, 23-year-old Anthony Bass from the Detroit area. Bass making his 7th appearance. 1 start. That was at Colorado. Pitched well enough. Caught the eye of Bud Black and Darren Balsley, and though he was sent back down, it was an emergency start. They liked the looks of this young guy and brought him back up. Now working out of the pen.
And hopefully taking advantage of each and every outing and to see some progression as Anthony Bass grabs that ball each and every time.
Full count. Ian Stewart. Sharply hit. Oh, nice work by Guzman to glove it in the hole and get the out to Bass. So a couple of hard hit balls. Guzman, who was not known for his glove, has shown that he can field.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2 outs in the 9th. Here comes Alfonso and the hit of the game. Brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Tony Gwynn says nobody beats El Cajon Ford. Visit them at Broadway and Main or elcajonford.com. And the home run with the bases loaded. Alfonso, his 17th career home run, his first grand slam, and part of a 5 RBI day. Also credited with a run batted in, bases loaded walk in the 7th inning. So a career game for the veteran, 32-year-old Alfonso. Couple nice plays in this inning with a glove. Yep, first Hudson at second and then Guzman at first. And now Headley at third. The long throw. He got him, and Guzman digs it out. Well, all 3 of those infielders sparkle in the 9th inning. That was worth seeing. Hudson, Guzman, Headley, and then Guzman again picking it out of the dirt in a 1-2-3 inning.
this summer, but I can tell you how you can take them wherever you want to go this season, right? How do you do it? You subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Padres game live or on demand on your computer or maybe one of your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. That's MLB.tv, where baseball is everywhere.
The beauty of that is, there might be another outstanding game, too. It's not like you're limited to the Padres. You only pay a certain amount to see the Padres. You get all 30 Major League teams.
Technology these days, unbelievable.
Amazing. Rex Brothers, a 23-year-old left-hander who's made the big leap from Class A quickly through the ranks and now appearing in his 24th game with the Rockies this year. Good numbers. Padres in the bottom of the ninth need a grand slam to tie. Rob Johnson 0 for 2 with a walk. Then Forsythe and the leadoff hitter Maven. Padres 6 runs on only 4 hits. A brace of 2-run doubles in the first inning. Ludwig and Gonzalez. The leadoff double by Guzman, who scored on a ground out. Gonzalez. And then Guzman again, knocking in a run. Headley, who was safe on an error. Out of play. Count stands at 2 strikes. So the totals 10 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for Colorado. 6 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Padres. The strikeout parade continues as Brothers joins the act. Padres have struck out 12 times tonight. Jenny Kavnar and Bob Scanlon gathering their notes. Stay tuned. The Sequan Casino postgame show from our Channel 4 studios coming up. Sequan Casino, get away for the day at Sequan Casino. Forsythe fly to right is only time. Pinch hit in the 7th inning and stayed in the game at shortstop.
Well, when you look at the delivery of Rex Brothers, my goodness, first of all, he throws hard, 96, 97. And he kind of hides the ball extremely well. When he brings the ball out of that glove, hides it behind that back leg, and then bam. Quick arm speed, and that ball is up on top of you. Fastball, slider, and change. No relation to Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Ground ball right at the shortstop. Tulowitzki with that big arm throws out Forsythe, and the Padres are down to their final out. You know, Brothers last year was playing for Scottsdale of the Arizona Fall League. Here he is less than a year later in the big leagues. Prominent member of the bullpen. Oh, to be left-handed.
If I had to do it all over again, I'm sure a lot of people, if they did it all over again.
First of all, I'd want to be a left-handed hitter.
Of course.
Because, you know, those guys have such a tremendous advantage over the right-handed hitters and closer to first base. Guy has to hold on. The first baseman holds on. So it's a reason why you have less left-handed hitters. But the majority of the batting leaders are left-handed. But then if I can't hit, and I probably won't be able to in my next life, then I want to pitch and I want to be a southpaw.
Just look at Josh Spence, right? We've talked about him. The success that he has had.
Cameron Maven struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Walked and scored and stole his 24th base. Padres are down to their last strike. When the Padres roll a 6, you expect them to win, but not today, apparently. One ball, 2 strikes to Maven. Tried to get him to chase. 2-2. Rex Coleman Brothers. Makes his home in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. And the ball game is over. Well, some regard 13 as an unlucky number for the Padres, who struck out 13 times today. That would fall into that category, as the Colorado Rockies use a couple of home runs, a 2-run shot by that man, Tulowitzki, and a grand slam by Alfonso to build a 10-6 victory. They've taken the first 2 games of this series, and we'll check the final totals from Petco Park right after we pause for these words.